The following Let's Play has been rated perfectly fine to watch. Any attempts to break the game are for entertainment value only. However, if any typos happen to be found... Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off, we beat this game. But we're not done yet. We're going to go ahead and play through it again. And we're going to play through it on test play. What exactly does that mean? It means we're going to get plenty of opportunities to glitch the game. And you'll find out why in a bit. But before we start, I should warn you that there's going to be plenty of spoilers ahead. I mean, obviously, we already beat the game, so anything that happens in the game is free reign to talk about. But not only that, I'm also going to bring up some stuff that happens with a bonus for when you collect all 34 trophies, so, if you don't want to know about that, well, fair warning, I will be talking about that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and load the game up here, and I will meet you after that. Alright, I have loaded the game up, and now, before we go into test play, I would like to go into this, ignore. Normally this is called items, and in fact if we go to parameter names, we can see ignore on equipment apparently. Huh. Well, also items, because it's definitely items. I guess I have equipment disabled from the menu, so it doesn't even show up. Kinda curious why I chose to have it called ignored, but anyway... If we go on here, we're going to have a bunch of interestingly named items, and these items are used to keep track of a lot of stuff that happens in the game. For example, Boat Race 1. This means that if we have this item, clearly we must have won the boat race in Sealand. But they also keep track of the amount of things. For example, these enemy HP things. If we have like enemy 2 HP, and we have 3 of those, that means the enemy 2 has 3 HP, and once he runs out of HP, a page on his event is automatically set to him not being there, because obviously we are out of these, therefore he's out of HP. We're going to be taking a real advantage of these as we go through the game, so definitely keep track of these, especially since some things I'm going to have to like explain or re-explain regarding the use of these, so definitely keep those in mind. With that said, let us go into test play, and I will meet you after the introduction of the game. Alright, so we have just been told to Jester to hunt down our first trophy, so let's look around here. Well, there's a trophy up there. How do we get to it? Oh, I know. I'll just hold down the circle button. Try that again. That didn't work out according to plan, but it still demonstrates something. So, when you're in test play, if you hold the circle button down, you walk over everything. And I do mean everything. The reason why that trophy didn't trigger was because I was still holding circle when I stepped onto it. For example, this hole over here, this transport pad, normally when you step on it, it automatically activates, but if I hold circle, I can go over it as much as I want willy-nilly. And if I let go of the circle button, now it activates. And then we can just kind of explore around here. As you can see, the map doesn't go on forever because that would be pointless. In fact, the map has some interesting cut corners like this here, and that is because I figure, well, as long as you can't see that far anyway, there's no sense wasting memory having map pieces there. Also, it is worth noting that normally whenever you beat a boss of a world, for example World 1, which is going to be right here, that unlocks a boss door further in the castle. However, in the case of World 1, you can't even get to the boss door until you learn Bushwhack, and you can't learn Bushwhack until you beat the first boss. So in order to save some memory, I just made it so that the boss door in here is always open. After all, it's impossible to reach it before beating the boss, so once again, why waste memory? By the way, a bunch of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about here is going to be pretty useful for some speed running tactics. After we're done with the Glitchfest, I'm going to take what I've learned to use in the speed run of this game. Should be pretty interesting. Now, if there's not anything else, I will meet you in Lucky Woods. Actually, there is something else. You can like walk under this. Even though you normally can't walk under this, it is set to be able to be... It's set to have stuff under it. Why you can't walk under this normally, I'm not entirely sure, because it's not like you would walk down into something that you're not supposed to be able to walk onto, because you got this piece here underneath. So yeah, I don't know why you couldn't do this. Also, I find it interesting that stepping here results in Mr. Knight getting his head scalped. Alright, we are in Lucky Woods, and I'm going to go ahead and activate this transport pad now. Because, for some reason, even though normally you can't actually reach the other end of the forest without using the transport pad, the other transport pad still requires that this transport pad down here is activated in order to be able to use it. And so if I wound up like doing this in order to skip to the other side without activating that transport pad, I would be totally screwed. Alright, so we are in the lair of the first boss, but you know what? I really don't feel like fighting him right now, so I'll just go ahead and grab my trophy now. And then birds are flying in here for some reason. And now the first boss is defeated. Pretty sure that's the only time you can grab the trophy before fighting the boss, so not something I'll be really able to take advantage of a whole lot. In fact, that's pretty much the only time, like I said. Alright, we are on the other side of the forest, and I want to point this out before I forget. This arrangement of flowers and grass in here kind of reminds me of the Atari logo. I don't know if that was intentional or if it's just a coincidence. By the way, as a reminder, even though this is technically the same forest and the forest we just came from is down here, in fact, if we go a little bit further, there's the hole we dropped into in order to reach Earthdweller's lair. If we hold the circle button and kind of go down, you will see that the forest doesn't actually continue in this direction. We are in a different map because RPG Maker 1 only lets you put so many events on a single map, and I reached my limit, and so I faked having the map into... I'm pretending this is one map. In fact, let's see here. Here's where Monkey is. As you can see, there's nothing even over here. Until, of course, we go ahead and do this. And now we actually are on the map, and the rest of the map that we just came from isn't actually there. Kind of interesting how that works. So let's see here. I'm just going to make a quick save. Actually, I'm going to change my cursor speed, and then I'll quick save. And what quick save does is if you hold L, R, start, and select, or was it both L and R buttons? Let me try that. Well, the point is, if you do a quick save and exit the game, you can come here, click resume, and it'll put you right back where you quick saved. The quick save is a temporary feature, so it's not there until... Or it is not there if you turn off the game. If you want to save your progress and turn off the game, you better darn well save to your memory card. Let me try this again. LR start and select. Okay, yeah. L1, R1 start and select. You don't have to worry about L2 or R2. Also, if you're wondering about this, this is what happens when you hold the start button in test play. You can't walk around while doing this, you kind of have to let go and then do this, and this is how you figure out your coordinates. Now, I'm going to go ahead and step through here, and... Okay, so that's interesting. These guys just don't do anything until this minigame with Monkey starts. You know what, though? I really don't feel like doing this minigame with Monkey, so I'm just going to kind of go down here, and let's see here. There we go. And that ended the minigame. So, if I had to guess, if we go back to the entrance of the level, we'll find the trophy that we get for winning the minigame. Why am I trying to cut this bush down? I didn't actually learn that. Yep, I was right. Here is the trophy you get for beating that minigame. However, I don't really want to do this right now, so I'm going to go ahead and exit that, resume to before the minigame, because there's something else I want to do. I want to actually kind of start the minigame here. Let's go ahead and, let's see, right here, let's see, I'm going to move to the right now. That moment when we moved to the right, Mr. Knight walked onto the space where Monkey is standing, and his graphic changed to Monkey. Meanwhile, while the camera was sitting down there near the exit to the level, Monkey moved down to where Mr. Knight is standing there and turned into Mr. Knight. Kind of interesting how that works. In fact, if we go ahead and talk to Mr. Knight, we'll find that, yes, this is kind of Monkey. Kind of. I don't feel like getting that trophy, actually, so you know what? I'm just gonna leave. And now we're just going to kind of go ahead and explore as Monkey. There's actually a purpose to this, which we'll get to a bit. By the way, I'm going to try to collect all the tokens in the game during this test play, because I want to find out certain things about the final battle with using Blast and, well, not Blast, Biggest Blast and Dragon Attack. By the way, you know how there are some games out there where if you reach a specific spot that you're not supposed to be able to reach, the game actually warps you to a location later in the game? My game actually has one of those. Let's see, if we step like here, we're warped into this maze. Kind of interesting that, and of course, since we're in the maze, the rest of the level doesn't exist because of the same reasons as before. Now, something that I hadn't... Oh wait, yes, I actually have mentioned this. Remember during the bonus when the trophy walked away? Well, the event sitting here is an invisible vent with a graphic, an invisible graphic. And like I said before, I wanted this trophy to move randomly, but be trapped in this invisible graphic, so it kind of gives the illusion of it like rotating, like items traditionally were in collectathon games. I'm kind of curious though, why this event here is warping you inside the maze. My guess is that this event here, in order to like save on memory, I duplicated it over here. Because, as a reminder, duplicate events take a considerably less amount of memory than the original events, like 7 memory per duplicate. While this event up here, I imagine took something like 30 memory. That's a significant difference. By the way, in case you're curious, no, this trophy doesn't actually do anything. It's not the real trophy. We actually are going to want to come in here to grab the trophy in order for it to actually count as getting the trophy. Come to think of it, since you're not supposed to be able to get in here without bushwhack, I imagine that this spot right next to me is going to tell me that my bushwhack has been limited. I was right. Oh, and because of that, I'm actually able to cut these. Now, I'm going to go ahead and skip the MP and HP tokens because, once again, there's something I want to test in the final battle, so hopefully I don't accidentally grab one of those. Now, there's something here that I kind of want to check. You know how I don't give you the option to save whenever you collect a trophy? I think that the reason for that is because I'm worried that whenever the map loads, it's going to load these items here all wrong. Enemies HP, enemy 2 HP, enemy 3 HP. I'm going to test that right now by resetting the game and loading it, and we'll see if that gets screwed over somehow. No, it's actually correct, so I probably could have gotten away with letting you save after collecting a trophy. Unless there's like certain specific trophies where something would mess up if you loaded from it. Not entirely sure. Anyway, if we come over here, this is where we're going to find the minigame in which we were supposed to cut down a bunch of trees. Now, since I started the minigame with Monkey and didn't actually finish it, we got the minigame item in my inventory. This is keeping track of the fact that we're in a minigame. And it's multi-use. It's used in a lot of different places. It's specifically with other minigames. This turns on if you're in a minigame. Interestingly, it also turns on whenever you're about to deal the final blow against King Heck, which I might use to my advantage if I can figure out how. But since the game thinks that we're in a minigame, that means when I talk to this guy, he's going to be acting like that we're inside that maze up there cutting down trees. And in fact, I bet we could actually cut down one of these trees. Yeah, we could, even though we're not a minigame. Now, let's see. If I step up, I'm going to run into an event that takes down the timer. As a reminder, there are various events, I'm holding circle by the way so the events don't activate. There are various events lining this path that take away from your inventory. An item called Bushwhack Left. Now, since I didn't actually start this minigame, that means I don't actually have any... Wait, no. It doesn't take away Bushwhack Left. What does it take away? It takes away something. Bushwhack Left is taken away whenever you cut down these trees. So since I don't have any Bushwhack Lefts in my inventory, or as well as I don't have any ticks left on the timer, when I actually do step on this event floating above me, it's going to assume that time is up because it never gave me the timer item. But it's also going to assume that I've won the minigame because I don't have any bushwhacks. I don't have any of the items that keeps track of how many trees we're keeping track of. Hopefully that explanation made sense. Now, unfortunately, because we went and did this minigame and suddenly these trees disappear. Kind of interesting, that. But now we no longer have our minigame item, so if I want to cheat the minigame system, I'm going to have to do that somewhere else. In fact, I'm doubly going to have to go somewhere else, and I'll tell you why. So, I just stole another minigame item from Monkey. Allow me to show you what happens if you leave the level with the minigame item. That happens. You start off invisible and then suddenly, automatically walk up here to grab the trophy. As a reminder, I already grabbed this trophy. How did that happen? Well, allow me to go through here real quick and the game's going to just now realize that, hey, you left the level, change you back to normal, flashy effects. So what's going on here is this is another location where the minigame item is used. If you haven't already gotten the trophy from the balcony, going through here gives you the minigame item, which the game then immediately recognizes as a sign to tell you to step onto the trophy and grab it. And this happens anytime you come in this room with the minigame item. Now, obviously, under normal circumstances, you're not going to come into this room with a minigame item unless you're supposed to. The only reason I was able to do this is because I'm playing in test play. Unfortunately, this means that I cannot take the minigame item from this world to bring it to King Heck and beat him real easy, because in order to reach this teleport pad, I'm going to have to come through this room, and if I have the minigame item when I come into this room, it's going to bring me over here, give me the trophy, and take away the minigame item, which is slightly unfortunate. On the plus side, this means that I can just go back into this level, grab another minigame item, come back here, it'll give me another trophy. Then I can go back in there, grab another minigame item, come back here, and it'll give me another trophy again. Rinse and repeat. Yeah, it actually does give me more trophies. Every time I come out here with the minigame item, it really does give me that trophy again. So, potentially, if I wanted to, I could just start the game up and come in here, grab the minigame item a bunch of times, do all that over and over again and have potentially as many trophies as I want. In fact, that whole thing where I was questioning whether I can do this bonus area without having all the trophies in the game, if you're playing on test play mode, yes, you actually can. And I'm not actually going to reach the bonus area, so cut to the next thing, especially because of that. Alright, now it is time for a really interesting glitch. So, on the way here, I completely bypassed the attack shop, which means I haven't gotten the tutorial left. Now, since I didn't get the tutorial there, I'm supposed to be getting the tutorial here. So, let's see here. Yep, you're getting the tutorial. And then you're moved in front of the attack shop. I fixed that. Or rather, I was supposed to fix that. I knew that was an issue. In fact, I mentioned it in the beginning of this Let's Play. Hey, if you skip the tutorial in the attack shop, this place used to send you to the attack shop after giving you the tutorial here. And so I fixed that. Except apparently I didn't. Alright, so, whenever you step into an ability shop, well, first off, I should re-mention this. The ability shop and the attack shop both use the same building. They both use the same room. Which is why, when I walked in here, I thought it was... the game thought I was in the attack shop, because technically I was in the attack shop. It's just that the game was supposed to go into a script that put me out here instead of in front of the attack shop. So when you walk into the ability shop, you get this item. Ability shop. So, what exactly happened here? Having that item was supposed to make it so this tutorial brought me in front of the ability shop instead of the attack shop. So, let me see what went wrong here. Alright, so here we are in the shop. This is Jester's event. On the first page we have the tutorial and it sends you to the entrance of the attack shop. On page 2 we have the tutorial and it sends you in front of the ability shop. Now, in order to make this event activate automatically, I have to actually have an intro event, and for example page 1 takes over to the first page of this event, which brought us in front of the move shop. So let's see here, which of these pages brings us to page 2, which brings us to the ability shop. Alright, having looked through all of these, I can safely say that none of them actually lead to this page. So, I technically put in the fix, but I forgot to put in the trigger activation for the fix. Oh, but it gets even better. Let us resume the game, shall we? So, once again, we have this item here. Ability Shop. Which, is actually supposed to get removed when you leave the Ability Shop. But since the game didn't know I left the Ability Shop, the item didn't get removed. So what happens if we come in here again? Well, I'll just explain it to you. Basically, what happens is we get another Ability Shop item. So now, at this very moment, we have 2 Ability Shop items. But of course the game is only going to take away one of them. What does that mean? Well, I'll show you after we get through this. Yep, sure enough, we still have the ability shop item. We had 2, but when we were brought out of the shop after learning Bushwhack, we were left with 1. And the shop is closed, so we can't go back into it. However, since we do still have that ability shop item, if we go into the attack shop... I'm going to quick save just in case... we once again learned Bushwhack. We went into the attack shop, and instead are learning an ability instead of an attack. Which of course leads us back out here. How about that? Of course, since we did go through the ability shop again, we are out of the ability shop item, because going into the move shop did not add any ability shop items. And so now if we go into the move shop, we'll properly learn the new attacks, which I guess I'll go ahead and do real quick. I'm up here. Mr. Knight, or Monkey, whoever you are, look up. Alright, I have now learned all 3 of the moves in this level. Now we are back here at this high thing. This high puzzle room that is kind of lame because it's barely anything. Now, unfortunately, I cannot cheat this because no matter what, I cannot go down this whirlpool without learning guild growth, and there is no other way to warp into this room other than going through this whirlpool, so that's something we're not going to be able to get for now. But at the very least, I can go ahead and get these here tokens. By the way, you know how that one part of the level kind of looked like it had the Atari logo? Well, this part of the level also has a bit of a logo. If we come up here, it's kind of larger than the screen, so it's not that obvious, but it really reminds me of the old Xbox logo, because of the fat center and the skinny points. Once again, I think that was just a coincidence, but it's kind of interesting. Alright, so if we come back over here, officially we never did beat the monkey minigame, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Twins! Alright, by the way, because I'm sure you're curious, these do not actually do anything. They're scenery. Alright, so stepping here automatically made it so Monkey was all, now where do I go to get out of here? And then he walked away. But if we go to the spot where the trophy appears, and the trophy appears, and magically Mr. Knight is turned invisible while a monkey event like this appears to walk away without the camera following. And then we get put back up here where Mr. Knight is going to get changed back to normal and this minigame is officially over. Okay, and then if we come back down here, the trophy that we just made appear is no longer there. This is because after Monkey walked off screen, invisible Mr. Knight walked back up to where Monkey, who had been turned into Mr. Knight, was, and we made Monkey invisible and made Mr. Knight there again in his regular form. And since we were up here and we can't get down back to where that trophy was, the trophy has no reason to remain visible. In fact, we could potentially just go back down there and grab it again if we want. Make it appear again. But I have no reason to do that. And with that, I'll go ahead and grab this. And I'm pretty sure we are done with Lucky Woods. We're done glitching it anyway. I still have that other trophy in the whirlpool, but there's no glitch there to take advantage of, so we're not even going to worry about it. Alright, let's go ahead and leave the level then. I'm going to go ahead and save and stuff. By the way, the resume game option, not only do you resume quick saves, but if your most recent save was a regular save, you also resume from that. So it's context sensitive, the resume option. Anyway, I was going to include Sealand in this episode, but my personal time limit is 36 minutes and there's no way I'm going to be able to explore Sealand in that time. So join me next time as I take advantage of one of the biggest exploits in Jester's Hunt. At least as far as test play goes.